Okay, are you guys able to hear me now? Looks like we had a little glitch there with some audio, but I think we're on now. All right, let me know if you can see my screen. All right. Okay, so as I was saying, this is a follow-up session from the Edmonton CAPS Convention that was hosted here last week. There were some amazing all-star speakers. I was fortunate enough to share a little side room for 40 minutes with some of you that hopefully are on the call today. I just wanted to thank you first and foremost for joining me today, and I wanted to go over a few things that are available to you as speakers, and kind of get your thoughts and maybe have some more specifics to take away today. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of time to go over everything. So for this, we asked Laurel Vespi. She was kind enough to let us do the live audit on her site. And I just want to start off by saying her site is very, very nice and clean, works on mobile, kind of passes the stress test for page load times. You've got some nice call to actions here right on the fold. Title tag is named for obviously you're targeting Edmonton and Calgary, motivational speakers, seminars, keynotes. So I'm just going to start off and jump right in here with Laurel's, and the title tag is very strong, and I'm guessing that somebody a little while ago may have encouraged you to put like Edmonton, Calgary, motivational speakers, seminars, kind of like your keywords that you're trying to rank for there. And although that is still a very strong signal, I would encourage you to step back from that strategy and start writing more of a headline. So like if you see in a newspaper on the front page, it's very limited as far as space, and so is this. Google gives you up to 65 to 80 characters. And so you really want to use those well. And so gone are the days of worrying about getting every keyword that your business kind of offers out there, and start thinking about more of a pitch. So like, 7 amazing tips about professional speaking, or, the top 3 speaking events that you want to be booked for next year. Like things like that. When you start speaking specifically, what that does is on Google, it will start to resonate on the title tag. So click-through rate is what you want. So click-through rate is if I searched 1,000 times and you got served up 1,000 times, and I clicked on you maybe 100 times, that would be a 10% click-through rate. And so that's actually going to be a ranking factor. So knowing this, you kind of want to reverse engineer it and go back and think about what would make people click on my headline. Well, I think first of all, if their intention is to hire a professional speaker, then you should gear that, click that headline to that specific query. And what I mean by that is like, how to hire an SEO professional. And somebody may type that in, and I may have that as one of my pages or blog posts within my site, not necessarily my homepage, but definitely on that blog post or that content piece. And what Laurel's doing here is definitely, it's not hurting her or nothing like that, but the new way coming in is definitely going to be click-through rates. So when you think of something that says Edmonton, Calgary, motivational speaker, it may not be as sexy or as enticing for somebody to click through, and that ultimately is what's going to start determining your ranking. Okay, so just want to start at the very top and kind of share that with you. Labeling your nav bar as well is pretty important. I mean, there is definitely some standard, about us, blog is key, but don't be like speaking's very strong there. I like that. Work with me. Maybe that could be called speaking coach, coach's corner, or speaking coach, or anything, or speaking events, things like that, just to kind of tighten that up a little bit. All of your images and links on this page should also, when highlighted, have the alt tag. So that would also just kind of reinforce your main keyword that you're trying to rank for on this page. And this is applicable on a blog post, a home page, a landing page, any type of page that you're sending traffic to. You want to make it as themed as possible. So when I click into 5 helpful things to do when life is upside down, Great image, so there's continuity there. I know I'm at the right place where I clicked. It kind of seems right. Upside down, sideways, off the rails. I like that. It kind of gets me reading, like, what am I reading? A little bit different. And then I like the little H2 tag here to reinforce it. Up on her title also says that, so I like that as well. Don't worry about having your name ranked there. Google and Bing already know that this is you. So you can use that for another word if you'd like, or you could just keep it blank. Going through here, you can see that, once again, little reinforcement. So I don't know if you're doing this yourself, Laurel, but pretty good job. If you're paying for somebody, then you're getting definitely a decent value back. I don't know what you're paying, but it seems to be very structured as far as what you'd want to see as far as best practices. You could see enough content on this page. The search engines typically won't read anything unless it has a minimum of 250 characters on it. They call that portal pages. So just kind of be mindful when you are writing this. I like how you've used your headlines here, but we can definitely do a little bit better job as far as reinforcing that 5 helpful things to do. Also, don't be afraid to use semantic. So if you know what semantic is, it's basically like if somebody says used, pre-owned is also the semantic of that. The search engines know that used and pre-owned mean the same thing. So switch it up a bit. Don't just be like used, 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 used. Go pre-owned or slightly loved. All these semantics will also build the strength on that page. And that's kind of the dry part of the on-page stuff. The off-page stuff is definitely a little more complicated as far as getting links, linking to you with good authorities, getting good social signals out there. And just one thing that I think you could do today, at least off this webinar, if anything, is go to this site. I can put the link in the chat here for you guys and get your business signed up to these 62 citations. Because I can't stress the importance of having your business match up name, address, phone number on all of these. So I won't go through them all right now, but feel free to jump through them. I know it's going to seem a little tedious and a lot of work, but I can guarantee you, you do this once, you set it up right, and it will take care of you for many years. There's lots of residual by doing this. Certainly take the time. It may take you a week or two. You may have to outsource this, but certainly get this done. This is where I would start locally. And the benefit of doing that would be professional speakers, Edmonton. There's no maps. There's really no maps. If I go speakers Edmonton, we're probably going to start getting into some like Bose or home theater stuff here, which I expect. Yeah. So professional speakers. In our backyard, at least, this is what it looks like right now. So CAPS obviously is ranking pretty high. We've got an exact match still, edmontonspeakers.com, MCP speakers. So you could see kind of what the landscape looks like already. There are some people bidding some AdWords, so there's some opportunity there as well. It looks like. So anyways, this is why you want to have your citations, because this will help reinforce. And there are also 62 backlinks from some pretty high-ranking websites already. So anyways, that's one little tip I would definitely start doing. You guys all speak at conventions, different shows all across the world. So what I would bring if I was speaking is a citation builder, because I want people to talk about me after I left. I mean, not just on Twitter with hashtags or on Facebook, but I really want to reap some benefits of doing this show, or getting some follow through after the show. And so one thing I always recommend is to build what's called a citation builder. And how you can do that is if you just go to Whitespark here. It's called whitespark.ca, and it's really simple. You may have to just log in or sign up. It's free with your email. I'm actually going to show you real quick how easy this is. And the whole reason why you'd want to do this is to generate some more 5-star, 4-star reviews at these events that you're speaking at. Because as more and more people go online to book you, and to find the next best, or to see how you are, your reviews are definitely going to speak volumes for you. And search engines know this too now, because I could say whatever I want about Mike Blackmore, but at the end of the day, it matters what everyone else says about me is how I get ranked or how I'm seen online. So you can see it here, review handout generator. You literally just put your URL in, your business address, and it hits generate. And it's really that easy. You can see Rocky here. He's super happy. It's that easy. You can do it for desktop and mobile. And so here's a kind of a visual example of what your customer would see. And hand these out. I mean, you're at the show. Put these on your social pages. Put them in your email marketing. Get these out as much as you can to past customers. So if you have an email marketing list, ask for the review. You'll get it. I mean, that's just one thing I know from doing this is if you ask for it, you have a better chance of getting these. And people want to say, you know, hey, I had an awesome time at this event, and you know, you got to check this guy out or this girl out. She'll change your life, or however you want. But if you have more and more people speaking about you, it's less you have to speak about, is how I look at it. So here's a free tool as well. I mean, feel free to use that. It's great. I send this to all of our clients because I think having reviews is so important. So anyways, I won't go too much into that part. Also, Google Analytics. I know this is a bit of taking a sip out of an ocean. When you get in here, it can be very confusing. So I think there's some things in here that are very valuable to measure. If you're doing lots of stuff on your social channels or on your blog, and you want to kind of see, is this stuff working? And I apologize if this is a little boring to some of you. Like if you're pretty advanced and you know how to do this stuff already. But for those that don't, I think it's important that you have things set up in a way that you can just pinpoint what's working and what's not, so you know where to kind of go next time and where to avoid. So just for this example, we have a automotive blog that we run. It's called You Ought to Know. And so for this example, I'm just going to show you a dashboard we have set up there. And feel free if you guys would like to set that up yourself. You ought to know. There we go. I'm just going to check the chat, make sure we don't have any other questions. Okay. Okay, so in here, you can see the dashboards, content analysis. So we've got a couple set up here. And if anybody wants one of these, I can easily just share or email this to you. And it's a one-click into your analytics, nice and easy, okay? So here's content analysis. This basically tells you everything that you've been doing on your site and how it's performing. So average time, page views, you've got new visits, so you can see if it's the same people keep coming back to your site, or if there's actually, you know, new visitors coming in. Also, you can, you know, see some really nice things by city, by your territory. If you do more international stuff, you can see where your next show could possibly be, right? So right here, it also tells you, so here's some blogs we did, and you can see the metrics on the side here, bounce rates, average time on page. You know, you could see that they stick around on your top stuff. And secret Google, don't mind that. That's my little, I was doing a little experiment socially. So that's not really a secret at Google, but just letting you know, you can see the breakdown of what you're doing and seeing like the measuring of it. If you're wasting your time or where you should be writing, keywords. There's so many things in here to go over, so I don't want to get too convoluted in here. I'm just going to show you a couple quick things. So acquisition. So we were at dashboards. I'm just going to minimize that so it doesn't confuse. We open up the audience and acquisition. So in acquisition, I really like this one. You can get a really good sense of what social channels are working for you and which ones aren't. You can see if you're doing any promotions out there on, like if you're doing guest blogs or anything like that, getting traffic also coming from there. Search Console is the one I'm going to speak about right now with you guys, and it's just queries. So basically, it's search terms, how people found your site. And this is very important. If you do any paid AdWords or if you pay for any SEO, you certainly want to be wary of what this report, oh, wrong view, of what this report can show you. So, secondary group. As you can see, we do a lot of automotive clients as well. So, all right. So in here, you can get a sense. Obviously, that's your name, so you hope you get some traffic from that, or you might need to check your homepage. If not, you can start to see like words that maybe your competitors are going after. In the paid world, we know this is their #1 search term that they pay for, so we want to try to get that their #1 organic. And you can kind of just see how people find you. I really love this report. It's it definitely paints a picture. You can see like how many impressions you got, your click-through rate. So going back to this is where you can also track, do I have a low click-through rate, or is my click-through rate very healthy? This would give you a little snapshot. Also, it shows your average position. This is 3 days old on Google. So you can kind of track this as well and see, okay, well, Dodge Dealer Edmonton, maybe I don't need to pay for that one anymore. I'm already organically ranking. So when it comes to speech terms, the only one that I'm doing right now is Grant. Grant, I believe, is on the call. And without his permission, I wouldn't show you his stats. But we have some things set up in Grant's dashboard as well that you know, are very specific to speakers. So I don't know if Grant's comfortable with me sharing that after. I can definitely send that dashboard as well along to you guys. But that kind of goes into the Google Analytics tools. There's so many things that we could talk about in here. I don't want to, you know, spend the whole time just going through the navigation. But if there's any specific questions anyone has in here, I would certainly cover it really quickly for you guys. All right. Moving right along then, campaigns. So if you're running any campaigns out there, paid, organic, social, they're all going to show up right here. So these are from like Google specifically, but you can definitely see there is a lot more here. And I like this report. We send this to our clients because it's a snapshot of the campaigns themselves. Certainly like the organic keywords in here as well. You can kind of get a sense of, you know, are you bringing in new users? Are they bouncing high? Are you after the wrong words? Are you getting actually conversions off these words? Like, so you can see here they had 37 goal completions, which are thank you pages fired organically for this 30-day period, right? So that's basically leads they didn't have to pay for. They just had their site built the right way and optimized for these search terms. So when people were searching it, you know, if you remember how I started the whole show last Tuesday, was they have questions and you have the answers. And it's as simple as that. I hate to belittle this, but it's really as simple as that. Is you need to find out what the questions are for your business. And with professional speakers, we did a slide last Tuesday where it was called answerthepublic.com. I'm not sure if any of you had a chance to use this yet. If you haven't, I highly encourage you to. If you're like me, I'm more visual, and I certainly like to see it instead of read it. So if I went professional speaker, and I want to see just in the US, the US and Canada are so lateral. Like I honestly believe that it's very relevant to what you see in the US. UK varies a little bit, but the US is certainly very similar to how Canadians would search. So just breaking it down here, we didn't get a lot of volume on this, so feel free to go a little granular with your search term. But here's basically where I would start. So who is a professional speaker? I know it sounds kind of lame, but they don't know. And people are asking these questions because that's why you're seeing them on this chart, is only because they have a certain volume of searches to make this chart. So don't question if people are searching this way, just know they are. And that you should probably have on a blog page or an FAQ page somewhere on your site the answers to these questions. Now you say, well, what if we all go answer these questions? That's a good question, because there are other elements and variables that would determine your site to your competitor's site or your colleague's site. But all things being equal, you need to have these answers to the questions on your site, I promise you. So just going over, some of these might sound, you know, a little crazy, but they're being asked. How to become a professional speaker, PDF. They actually want to read a PDF, meaning they want to become a professional speaker and they're looking for a PDF material to read it, not a website or video. How to become a professional speaker, Canada. You know, here's a really good thing where you could become a mentor even. A guy like myself is actually thought about public speaking. I just lack a few confident things to make it a go, but I would start to search, you know, how much does a professional speaker make? How to become a professional speaker. And then maybe I landed on Grant's site and I aligned myself with Grant and I started saying, hey, you know, Grant, maybe you could help mentor me with this. And you know, Grant, I don't know how that fits into your business model, but certainly it starts bringing more people to your site that are relevant to your business. And I think gatekeepers out there, people who book like functions for Christmas parties, staff functions, they're searching this way and they don't understand the jargon of your industry specific. So they're going to start high level and they're going to say like how to hire a professional speaker, because they don't even know how to hire one. So maybe there's certain sites that they would go to that would be favorable because they've already done the vetting and you guys are all certified and qualified on this site. So maybe that would just bring me there and I could kind of shop between how you all look or off your credentials, right? Maybe it's, why do I need a professional speaker? What is a professional? So anyways, I think you get the point of the questions, but then there's prepositions, right? So there's a little bit more, this is more lateral, it's not really relevant to you guys, but the alphabetical one, here we go. Here's your keywords. So I mean, some of these, Namibia, I don't think, Singapore, UK, I don't think it's going to be applicable, but wherever you're at demographically, just throw in your city, your region, or country at the end, and it's kind of like the same formula, right? So professional speakers, Canada, may be a high-level keyword that you want to rank for because you actually book all across Canada. So instead of pigeonholing yourself and just saying Edmonton, Calgary, because that's probably your backyard, you may want to open this up and say, North America or Canada or Alberta or something a little broader, and then you'll start to notice that your visitors will come in from these regions and your leads may even start to be calling you from Ontario or Newfoundland or wherever you're showing up. But this is kind of the hierarchy, is you want to start off by what is your goals, right? So if my goal is I want to have 10 bookings in January, and I know that might be tough in Edmonton because it's just not the climate right now. Alberta's a little bit on a downturn economically. Maybe people just aren't you know, hiring professional speakers as much to come in and speak to their sales staff or whatever. So maybe you have to branch outside of your region, and maybe Saskatchewan's more profitable for you. Maybe it's Manitoba, but you have to have these content pieces on your site or else you're going to pay. And what I say by pay is you do a pay-per-click model, and we also help you with that. It's not a pitch. I'm just saying that you probably would prefer to do it for free and on your own. And it's addicting. I promise you. I started doing this 10 years ago and I was like, how do these people get their sites on the first page? And I went down the rabbit hole and I haven't really came out since. And I can tell you it's very addicting. And when you start seeing some results, go for the little wins. I mean, if you do a Google search for professional speakers and you see 80 million hits, that's a bad place to start, in my opinion, because you're going into a much more competitive landscape. You want to start at the little wins, because the little wins add up. Like 1 gets you 2, 2 gets you 4, 4 gets you 8 kind of theory is what I like to use is, you know, get the first word. And maybe it's a long word, maybe it's your brand, but get that. Once you get that, then look at your next one. And if you are doing paid ads, go to your most expensive clicks right now and start there. That's where I would start, is what are people searching for? And if it's the most expensive, it in theory could mean it's the most competitive. So I would want to rank for free Of course I would, right? So I don't want to keep paying. And so this is where you would set it up, and you would just kind of measure it in analytics and see, is like, so there's two parts to this, is like, so there's some research to this to find out what people are searching for. On that slide that we presented, there was Google Trends and a few other links. If anybody wants me to send that again, certainly don't mind putting that in the chat window as well. But I think don't start going down the wrong road, because you'll waste a lot of time and energy, and you'll get really discouraged, and you'll think that this doesn't work. And you wouldn't be alone. There's lots of people, we speak to them every day, and they don't believe in this stuff. And that's fine. I don't blame them. Maybe they had a bad experience. Maybe they just think this is impossible because it keeps moving. And they're right to a certain extent. It does keep moving, but you got to keep moving with it. So there's some principle stuff that we cover, and that is the keyword research. What is your business goals? So if you're trying to rank for things that people never book you for, it's great, you'll get lots of website traffic, you just won't get any conversions, and that's tough to stay in business. If you know that people are looking to hire or book speakers, and you want to sit at the bottom of that funnel where people are picking up the phone and booking you, then I think that makes more sense to spend your energy, right? And this is what this tool does. It kind of allows you to start off on the right foot, and then analytics is kind of like your guide along the way. It's going to help you measure your efforts and make sure that you're not off course, and that you're not going down a dark path that takes 6 months to get back. And if you are hiring an agency, keep them accountable. Ask those tough questions. Don't let them off the hook. There's no dumb question. Ask those questions that need to be asked, because you may make them better. They may not even have the answer. I'm just, from experience, I've learned so much from clients, them asking me this or pushing the envelope, and we go with them, and the solutions are there and the results come with it. So start today. Definitely start with the local citations, and just go look at your homepage and kind of look at the top and say, is this what I really wanted to say? Professional speaker, you know what I mean? Like, is this what I want my site to say? And does it align with what people are searching for? Okay, so that's kind of the boring part of today. A couple little nuggets I thought I'd throw in, just since you guys are on the call here, is I think if you are doing video right now, most of you are probably really comfortable with being on stage and on video. So I think this is a natural one for you guys. Is there's some tools out there. Like today, I'm using what's called Google YouTube Live, formerly known as Hangouts on Air. It's a free tool. You can set this up once a week, and you could have these recorded and sent out in your marketing materials. There's Facebook Live, which has massive opportunities. They're not even touching the surface on what you can do with Facebook Live. I mean, if I was speaking at an event, I would have my wingman in the crowd on my Facebook page streaming me live. And then maybe my wife on Periscope, my Twitter account, streaming me live off of there. So you see where I'm going with this? I mean, there's only so many people in the audience today, let's say at my convention, but I can open this up and broadcast to the world. And let me tell you how big of a deal you look when you start popping up on timelines that you're going live right now. If people are sitting in their office like we are now, chances are they'll check you out if you're relevant to them. So don't be shy. Get your video game up. It doesn't matter what industry. Video is consumed at a much higher rate. It's more memorable, and it's more shareable. If that's even a word, I'm not sure. But I just want to thank everybody that took the time out today on the call. Please put any question in the chat window. I don't see any right now, so kind of hurts my feelings. Just kidding. I will get to them after. So if any of you, if I didn't cover anything, or if I moved a little too fast, or if it didn't make a lot of sense to you, please reach out in the chat window and ask me any questions you may have. I definitely apologize if your screen went a little fuzzy there, Grant. I wasn't able to see that. I was in a screen share mode. But like I said, any questions, drop them in the chat. If anybody would like me to personally go through their website and provide just a kind of a quick consultation on, you know, here's 5 things right now that I would recommend. Put your URL in the chat window and I will respond via email. I've got all your business cards. Laurel, I am going to send you your report as well that we ran for you. We did an audit on your website, and I think it's very favorable. And if you have any questions, don't be shy, reach back out. But that's pretty much all I had for now, you guys. I think I leave you with this. You know, 2017 is right around the corner. I know Christmas is definitely upon us, and you know, just a few things I think that we should all be mindful going into this holiday season is certainly, you know, take care of each other, take care of your clients, take care of yourself, but challenge yourself for 2017. I think this should be the year that you stop procrastinating and truly try to make sense of this and make it work for your business. It is going to be, you know, a tough go in the beginning. It is challenging. You're going to want to give up, but stick with it. This is your business. This is your livelihood, and you can make a difference. I mean, just kind of a few trends to be mindful, I think, going into the new year that everybody, you know, should write down or take away is certainly automation is going to be a lot more prominent in our day-to-day with Google Home. They have the Amazon Assistant Echo, with Siri, with Google Now. You've got all these bots. You've got lots of AI coming down the pipeline, voice search. It's going to be a busy year. So principles of search, I think best practices, you'll be fine whether people are doing a voice search at home, on their phone, on their watch, whatever. You want to be at every touch point with them. So I think going into 2017, definitely want to be mindful of the mobile speed on your site. Want to go do a mobile speed test after this if you want, and just make sure anything over 3 seconds is going to be really unbearable for a user on mobile. So you want to really, your benchmark, you want to be 3 seconds or below that. I think more and more people are going to be shopping on mobile, converting on mobile, consuming your content on mobile. So you definitely want to have that experience on point. With content, I think it's still king. You need to be producing content, whether that's infographics, PDFs, short videos, just how-tos on your site. You want to really hammer home content in your industry and make sure it's personalized. Like you're not speaking to the masses, you're speaking to the speakers or the people that maybe wanted to hire you. And I think, you know, going back through some of your content now that you've already written and repurposing that and throwing that back out there with some, you know, fresh content on that piece, I think will also serve you well. But measuring, I think that's the best thing you can do is everything you do out there, make sure you're measuring it this year. Make sure you're keeping your agencies accountable. Agencies are definitely in the game of acquiring. So, you know, I hope I'm not offending any agencies by saying this, but their motivation is strong when they're acquiring you, and then it becomes less and less noticeable as you spend more and more time with that agency. So you want to be just like a first date every month with them. You want to keep them on point, keep them accountable for what they're doing for you, reporting, spend, all that good stuff. You guys, thank you. I could ramble all day about this stuff, but I'm sure you're already sick of listening to me. So I will check the chat window. I will follow up with you guys. I hope you guys all have a great holiday and a happy new year. And I look forward to speaking with you all in the future. Thank you.